idea what you're talking about. Yeah, I feel like nobody probably has it actually all together.
Get a lot of mostly young men on the channel, and they're from 17 to 35, 36, 39, and they lament that they're at a place in their life and they don't have it figured out, and they don't have it all together, and they wonder what's wrong with them because they don't have it figured out. They don't have it all together.
I've got it all together. I just forgot what it was.
Of course you don't have it all together. You're not supposed to have it all together. You're not expected to have it all together. Anybody looks at you at 26, 27, 28 years old and says, hey man, what's wrong with you? How come you don't have everything figured out? They're a fool. Knowledge and experience and wisdom takes time.
That's true. There's a lot of shit that I didn't know back whenever I was 26. Like, I've always said that, you know, like with my videos, I guess, like that whenever I want to be able to go back and look at videos and streams I did from like 4 years ago and cringe at them and think they're bad. Because if I look back at them and I'm like, oh my god, everything that we did back then was so much better.
I have many lucky doos. You like?
I feel like I wouldn't have like grown or improved as a content creator.
Wisdom comes from experience, and experience takes time. The more experience you have, the more you learn from that experience, the wiser you can get. If you haven't lived long enough to have a
farewell, friend of the Grummels,
portfolio of experience, then you can't expect to have knowledge and wisdom.
Twitter's not going to like that one.
We are told by society today, and it's inferred by movies and television programs, that by the time you're 26 or 27, you should be graduated from college.
Yep.
You should have a degree.
Yep.
You should have a good job.
Yep.
You should have a wife.
Yep.
And you should have it together. We watch these programs and they're, you know, this movie, it's an hour and a half long, and within an hour and a half, a person goes from a goofed up teenager to someone who's just settled and got it all going on.
Many deals for a friend of the Grummels. Like you.
Kind of have it, like you could say, and like I bet if you talk to them and they were being honest, they would say like, yeah, I'm not happy with a lot of stuff, but you know, it is what it is.
May your feet find good trails.
So like it's really kind of hard to say. You know, it's having a wife having to do with anything? Well, I feel like in general, like that's part of like kind of completing the checklist of adult life.
And they get the job, they put their childhood bully in his place, they get the girl, fade to black. And we're left to imagine the rest of their life. And what we imagine is left with the last thing that we see. Man, they got it together. Of course, we don't consider the fact that if you turn the TV off and watch the news, you'll see those same actors show up in the news again and again, making stupid mistakes, and they ain't got it together.
Well, I mean, they're actors, right? That's the story. But the thing is, like, yeah, that's definitely fucking true. Is that, like, I do feel like, how many of you guys felt like whenever you were, like, just graduating high school, and, you know, like, from, like, 18 to 21, that, like, you were a loser because you still lived with your parents, for example? How many?
Not me. I left when I was 16. I've been trying my whole life to get away from my fucking parents. They, like, I wouldn't say my mother forced herself on me, but she definitely wanted to be in my life. I would say the culture didn't really support that. The culture was about getting out, getting control of yourself, like, taking care of your own things, knowing what you wanted by yourself, you know, how to live by yourself, how to do things by yourself, like you know, but, I think they kind of knew what the mess that they had kind of set us up for, which is they stole all the money. They bought 5 houses and 5 cars, and then they were like, oh well, it's all gone now. The billionaires stole it. Sorry, we don't know where it went. And now, if you make $30,000 a year, you're really lucky. You know, we all made $300,000, but you'd be lucky to make 30. So have fun with 1/10, and you got 1/10 of what we got. So, you know, be happy with that, because we kind of ate your inheritance. We kind of bought 5 cars with it, and bought 5 houses with it, instead of making sure that you had, you know, the education and the lawyers and the support and the cars and the rents and stuff that you would need to get by in the first like 5 years of your adult life. But no, go get all of that by yourself, and when you really need it, it'll be gone. Don't worry. And in about 50 years, you'll get all this. You'll get all these houses and cars that we bought. I hope you enjoy those, because you can have those after, you know, 50 years is gone. You can have the house and the cars and all that. Is that any, you know, like, are you so selfish that you need me to give you everything? No, I just wanted the same chance that you got. You guys you were kind of coddled. You were given cheap educations. You were given good jobs, cushy this and that, nice house, and middle class house in the suburbs and stuff. Not given, but you were allowed that opportunity. We were not. I never met anybody who bought a house who wasn't given it by their parents, or at least given some tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars by their parents.
Yeah?
So
what do you want? Hey, got a new
we can
shipment
complain
coming
about
in
this, and we can call it what you want. We can call it like not having your life in order and all that, but I call it what I see it. It's what my issue with it has always been. I've got a nastier word for it. Misappropriation. How many houses and cars did your parents buy? How many houses and cars did your parents buy? How many did you buy? By the age of 30, how many jobs did you have that paid 6 figures or more? How many jobs did your parents have? You ever gone to try to see where all the gold in the world is? I haven't, but I think a lot of the people have, and it's not there anymore. We got to kind of wonder what happened there. You ever tried to get a credit card? Are you 16 years old? Are you 20? Are you 30? Are you 40? Have you tried to get a credit card lately? When you signed on the dotted line and promised your firstborn child, and you signed up and gave the last 3 months of your bank history, and, you know, you were audited and all this other shit, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to give you a credit card. You got to kind of wonder, was your parents' credit better than yours when they got their credit card? Probably not. But oh my God, it was the roaring 70s or whatever, 80s, and and they got nice credit cards. They could go maybe get a loan, and go try and start a business. They could maybe get a credit card and maybe buy a car so they could go to work. We weren't given those things. We weren't given those same opportunities. No. I've been trying to get a credit card all of my adult fucking life, and I've never had a credit card, and I've never really been in debt. I never got in debt until I was in student loan debt at the age of 28. But that didn't stop me from applying for a credit card the last 12 years before that and not getting it. And there's the scam, there's the fraud. You say get a job, or get your shit in order, or, you're 40 and you don't have a job, or you don't have any money and all this other stuff. Yeah, I say hit a knob, because every way that you built the world is a fraud. And I can't wait till your generation's dead. And I can't wait for the cut spring, the purse strings to cut. And all of that money that you have up in your bank accounts is going to trickle on down, but then we'll realize that, oh no, everybody robbed the banks, and there's no money at all. The billionaires have money, but we don't have any money. And so on top of it, you got tricked, and you got tricked by the worst assholes in history. And so now we're probably going to have to fight them, shithead renter people who control the land and the rent and the money and the food and what's the price of a tank of gas right now? It's like, what is that, $65 a gallon or something like that, or not a gallon, but $65 a tank or something like that. It's like really crazy. It's like, who the fuck has that? Nobody has that. Nobody in the lower middle class has that. So it's just kind of like, I'm a little bit bitter, I admit it, and I'm not blaming my problems on them. And yes, I did work. I didn't work like them. I never had a career. I mean, I had a career, but not really a real one, though. Never really had a real career like them. Yes, I did go to college, but see, the thing is, like, I couldn't go to college until I was 24 because my mom had so much credit card debt that they literally took her house. And this is maybe why it's a good thing that they didn't give us a credit card. They know better. They shouldn't have given us a credit card because they know what they did with it, which is spend so much money rampantly that we got to come take your house. They got real sick of that, so they just stopped giving us credit, like, straight up, unless you're some kind of six-figure 9-to-5 tool. If you're some six-figure 9-to-5 tool, you probably do deserve credit and a loan because you kind of signed your life away on the dotted line, and you work in their combine 9-to-5 for salary, and your kids are going to work in their combine for 9-to-5 for salary, and their kids are going to work 9-to-5 in the combine for their salary. So of course they take care of you and they give you loans and all that stuff. But anybody on the outside trying to make the world a better fucking place, or even get a job, has to hit a knob, because every bit of the way you built the world is a fraud. It's a fraud. $100,000 for a bachelor's degree, that was the norm for the last, 100 years. Your generation was okay with that. My generation is like, where's the free education? Straight up, like, where's the free education? Because charging $100,000 for a fucking bachelor's degree, we know who does that. It's the rich white wasps who want to keep the world how it is, on its knees, crippled and can't breathe. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit bitter about this, but you made it so my life's profession is illegal, right? And then you made it impossible to pull even. I would say it's basically impossible, short of robbing banks, selling drugs, prostitution, being a pimp, or some other kind of crazy fast money, fast Eddie thing that isn't going to work for the majority of us. There's no real way to get out of debt in the current society. There's no real way. You'd have to rob banks. You'd have to go work for Google and sign up for a six-figure salary and work that for 5 or 10 years to get yourself out of debt. That's how student loan debt is. So dude, I understand you guys were idiots and most of you were illiterate and you're kind of dumb and you're privileged and you're overprivileged and you are the boomers. I'm talking about the real boomers, people born around 46 to 53. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the real boomers. I can't wait till you guys pass away. Not my own family, of course, but I mean the whole fucking generation. I can't wait till you fucking kick daisies. Go. I hope you kick rocks and kick daisies and cut the fucking purse strings and reign and an era of a golden age. I want to see what you guys are hiding, because I swear to God, you sat all that money in the bank your entire fucking life rather than give us 100,000 of it so we can build our lives. I know what it is. I know what it is. You spent $30 million, but you made sure that your kids only saw $2 million of that. I know what it is. I'm not stupid. I watch you do it all the time. You know how? Okay, dude, I've owned 3 cars in my life. My mom's got to have owned 30, something like that. 30, something like that. Maybe not that many, but 15. I've owned 2 or whatever. No, I've really owned 3. And I just don't I've never said that. That's the disparity. Now, am I bitter about it? No, I'm not bitter about it, and I'm not pointing the finger. It's not some blame game that I'm playing. I'm saying don't turn judge not lest ye be judged. If you grew up in this world, you would understand it. You didn't. You grew up in the time of the fucking 40s. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't know what it's like when all of your friends are fucking addicted to drugs. Most of your friends have been to jail. The ones who are successful are super smug and super careful and super good boy, good girl, so you compare them against us, like my best friends. I get compared against my best friends all the time. Well, yeah, but they got inherited, but they inherited houses and property and lives and money, and they were never stranded on the fucking streets without a goddamn hope for their entire fucking family line. They weren't like that. They had nice lives. And so that's what you hold society up to, is those people who were blessed with a chance. When the rest of us were like, oh, man, to get a house right now would mean having a job right now. To mean having a job right now would mean to have a car right now. To have a car right now would mean to have a job right now, but you can't have a job right now because you don't have a house right now. You don't have a home right now because you can't pay rent. Rent's $2,500 for a 1-bedroom, and in most of the cities in America, a tank of gas is $65. Oh, yeah, your generation totally dealt with that shit. Oh, yeah. I remember, when gas went to $1 in the 70s, they freaked out. But when it goes to $5 in the 20s, excuse me, when it goes to $5 in the 20s, right? Nobody says boo. Nobody says. I mean, we all freak out about the the inflation and stuff and all that. We do freak out about it, but we don't but we don't really talk about what actually happened, which was I watched my ancestors spend with careless abandon, assuming eternal supply. They fucked the world. They fucked our generation. They fucked the banks. They fucked the money. They fucked it all. And I'm sure we'll do that too because we inherited the fucking mess. Same way they did. They inherited post-war America. And they fucked it up. It's the same way we're going to fuck it up. We inherited post-9/11 America. Post-Doom, essentially. I inherited post-Doom America. And you wonder why I don't do anything. You know what I'm saying? You guys inherited post-war America, where we had the nice flower power culture and and the love generation and civil rights and John Lennon and Martin Luther King and Gandhi and stuff like that, right? What did we get? We got a war in Afghanistan, a false flag scenario where the American leadership killed 3,000 of its own citizens to get us to condone going to war in a quagmire that lasted 23 years. It got us not a dollar, nothing, just lost us lives and nothing. We didn't even get oil out of it because, I don't know what the fuck we were doing over there. We didn't even get oil out of it, or the goddamn price of a barrel of gas wouldn't, or a tank of gas wouldn't be $65 right now. We absolutely didn't get any oil out of it. So why the fuck did you guys do that? So here we are back home. Everybody's addicted to opioids. Everybody. If they're not addicted to opioids, they're addicted to speed. If they're not addicted to speed, they're addicted to coke. If they're not addicted to coke, they're addicted to alcohol. They're not addicted to alcohol. They're addicted to marijuana. They're not addicted to marijuana. They're addicted to tobacco. If they're not addicted to tobacco, they're normal people that inherited their money, their lives, and their homes from their family and had enough support. And that's what's going to happen to me. But it didn't happen young. You know what I'm saying? It happened when it was long past when it was too late. So here I am at the beautiful, juncture of my life where it's the changing of the guards. I always said I wouldn't live past 26. It's the changing of the fucking guards, right? We're all looking forward to it. What were you guys hiding? What were you mismanaging back there? What's in your bank accounts? What were you lying about? Did you really let us go to jail or sit on the streets with our drug addictions and such and living in the ghetto and trying to find enough rent to live through next week and all this stuff? I wonder sometimes if in the background you guys weren't sitting on $1 million. I wonder if that wasn't happening a lot in the background, where our parents sitting on $1 million and they're just their parents grew up in the Great Depression, so they know better than to fucking spend it. But I kind of want, you got to kind of wonder if we didn't have a chance because you did not how do you know how the state of humankind works? It's nepotism. We work somewhere until we get too old to cut it, and then we pass on our legacy. That's how the state of human affairs works. You guys kept your legacy. And fight me about that. Fight me if you don't believe me. The boomers kept their legacy. I know I'm supposed to be the boomer. Motherfucker, I'm not a boomer. I'm not like them. I wasn't gifted the entire fucking world on a plate and then sold it to the highest fucking Nazi bidder, 9/11 faggot. You know what I'm saying? Or not whatever. No, I'm sorry. I don't mean that in some gay way. I mean in in a lame, straight bundle of sticks way. Like some George Bush killer. Some George Bush conspiracist. Killer that kills his own citizens. That like that. I'm sorry. That's the word that rips out when I think of somebody like George Bush. It's not gay people. It's George Bush. When I think of the F word, the F-A-G word, I think of George Bush. I don't think of gay people. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who kills his own people to fund some crazy war, goddamn crazy deep state war agenda. That's an F-A, that's a lame bundle of sticks. That's straight up. That's an actual F-it, That's the difference. It's not gay people. It's these rich white Republicans who hate gay people. They're the F-its. Trust me. So now we're in this beautiful place where I'm looking to inherit it all roughly about when I'm 60, just perfectly past when it all would have mattered. You guys didn't cut that those fucking purse strings. You didn't make it. It's not like I'm greedy for your money. I just want a fucking chance. I don't want to feel like I would have to go out to kill someone to get a beer right now. Or whatever, to get a pizza right now, or to get a beer, I would have to kill a man because I just don't have it. That was a reality that we lived our entire fucking life. My entire fucking life. And it wasn't because I didn't work. I've worked for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours. I would say I worked more than my mother. Like, in the scheme of things. I know she was sitting up there a lot. She was sitting up there a lot just reading and stuff. I know she was. I watched her a lot of her life. And, like she didn't work like me. Not physical labor like me, no. I worked my entire fucking life. Like not entire. But, like, any time that I was given a chance to, I did. And, you know, and when I didn't, it was because I was in some disability appeal or a drug dealer, or I didn't have a home, or I didn't have a license, or I didn't have an apartment, or whatever the fuck. You know, the things that happen to you when you have no real support. No real, because it was all stolen by the previous generation, essentially, or not previous, but like 2 generations before. They took the entirety of the world's fucking wealth, and they did something with it, because it's not there anymore, you know. You guys judged us like y'all didn't do cocaine and heroin in the 70s. Like your friends didn't do. You know, you hear a song by, you know, Neil Young, like The Needle and the Damage Done. And then, you know, and then I think, oh no, your generation never had any problems with opioids or you know, or uppers or any of that stuff. You guys never had problem with drugs, no. So you guys didn't go to fucking, I mean, you did go to jail because you're stupid. You let the fascism ride. But like, you never really fixed it. You never really fixed it. So now it's like way, way worse. And on top of it, you judged us. Which, you know, I don't believe that kind of probably happened to you. Back then, they didn't even know what goddamn cocaine was. But now they're like, oh, you're an asshole. You did cocaine? You're an asshole. Don't be like them. You're an asshole and all this. Fuck you guys. Like, we all got high. We all got high. It's just like you're like, you know, like you as parents didn't experiment. Nah. Like to quote Marshall, you know, like you know, you guys want to talk about us, like we're the problem and stuff. Like, you guys never got high. You got high. I know you did. You didn't get high on hard drugs necessarily, but like, you know, you got high like the rest of them, and then you judged us. Like, maybe you're holier than thou. You're sober. Good for you. But that's not the majority of how America was, or any of that stuff. You know, flap, stone form, dropping all aggro and suspicion. Escape is fly away. But what is it that I'm to do here? You don't explain. You don't say what I'm to do. What is the objective? Is it to go over there? What is the objective here? What is it that you want me to do? I don't know. Go over there, I guess? Oh. Is it... I hope this is what you want. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what you want from me. But we're going to assume it's that, so... Be a little more... Like, it wasn't very intuitive, you know? I can't read your mind. I don't know what it is what you're thinking. Yeah. So here we are. I've owned 3 cars in my lifetime, and the most expensive one was $4,000. I've never owned a home. I've never had a job that paid more than $28,000 a year. Well, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. When I worked Uber, I did make about $38,000, I would say. If I worked all day, every day, all year, it would have been $38,000. I didn't do that, but I was close to it. So I did make, like, you know, one year I did make about $32,000, and the remnants of that are still the remnants of that $32,000 are still in my life. Some of my clothes, some of my possessions and stuff from when I worked 7 years ago. I still have some of the money left from that amazing 40 grand when I actually had a real job and I did make $38,000 a year and stuff. That was my whole life. It wasn't like that because, like, most of the time my record, like, you know, my record was fucked by then. There was no way they were gonna help me. Message for the Tide Lord. Okay.
What is this?
Oh, good. At least I did it.
So, the Dark Prince is making his move to usurp the throne. I suppose someone of character should be there to stop him. What a peculiar instrument. How much?
Excuse me. So then we go over here, I guess. Yeah, apparently. So, yeah, so I'm not bitter. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying that, like, there was... Oh. Is he hunting me? Yeah, I believe he probably is. Yeah, I guess stay away from that. Like, you know, like, where I'm going with this is, like, it's not that I'm complaining. I'm okay with the world being like that. We don't need it to be this, like, I think the American dream is this belief that you're safe somehow if you try hard, right? Like, the American dream to me is if you try really hard, you're successful no matter what. But that is actually kind of like what's the word? It's naive and it's optimistic and it's not very pragmatic and it's not what usually happens. You know, it's oh no, what'd you do to me there? Why do you do this stupid ass shit?
Did you hear the latest gossip?
Did you? I don't know. What is it that you want from me? I don't know. Okay, well,
Clearly, you have come seeking the best.
I don't know. It appears that that's what you wanted. I guess I don't know. You should permit me to do that all the time, like flap over to the east side where I don't have to deal with it if I'm on the southern side. You guys should have expounded on that further. It made it a little bit less painful to be in this zone by letting me flap around this whole general area. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, I know why, because at the beginning of the game, they would just abuse the hell out of it to get their advance above everybody else, but, you know, you really want me to go in this Pridefall Hamlet thing? Yeah, I think so, but is it up? Yo, there's a chest. Yeah, I would imagine it's probably up, right? Yeah, but I don't see, like, an objective. Oh, that's down. Never mind, I'm down. Oh, down? Yeah, I'm up. Mirror's gonna be in there, I would say. That's probably why the window's red. Let's see. I don't know. No. Mirror's gonna be downstairs. Mirror's gonna be downstairs. We'll go take a look, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Mirror. Wait, was that the mirror? Oh no, that's it. But yeah, it is. Yeah, it was. It was up. Shit. Now I see the symbol. It took me a minute to see it though. Oops. It's like, I'm not bitter. I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming them for my shortcomings. I know that I'm lazy and that I know, but I did work a lot of my life. It just never got me anywhere, like, unlike them. I feel like they work for a year. They get like they always got like 60 grand or something like that. 40 to 60 grand if they work for a year in the job that they got their degree for and all that. I've never been offered even remotely half that. Never for really technical jobs, you know. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, it just seems like a disparity. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that it's their fault or that something's wrong. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah. Or that, you know, or any of this. I'm not playing a blame game here. I'm saying you should try walking a mile in my shoes before you judge me. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't that easy. It was not that easy. I look at what it's like.
A potential savior of the Shadowlands.
I know, because I have some friends like this. I look at what it's like to be a right now they call it person of other ethnicity or people of color, which I don't like that phrase. I'm gonna say them like women, right? I've known some women, and I would like to make a racial definition here, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna say I've known some women who had to raise a single child, who had it so hard that it makes this whole business sinful because you guys didn't cut the purse strings. And you would have complained about single mothers on welfare, like breeding and all this stuff. Well, yeah, because you cut the purse strings, so then your daughter and your granddaughter, they have no money. So what else is there to do except fuck in the ghetto? What else is there to do? There's nothing to aspire to. There's no reason to go learn anything. There's no reason to get a job because they don't have any fucking money. There's no reason to they don't have the money to get a car to drive to the job. And you got to kind of wonder, like, it requires investment to keep this whole thing, this whole shebang running. But you guys don't do that. You don't invest. You don't really invest in the kids. You always talk about the future is the children. And I think some of you did. A really rich among you did. But like overall, I think you just kept it under a mattress and in the bank while a generation died. That's just how it feels to me. Like, cause like the same dreams and the same possibilities that you guys had, it's like a fucking pipe dream for us now. I mean, I know only, you know, like young millennials speak like this, but it's a pipe dream for us now. Somebody has been born who will die from catastrophic extinction level event shit like earthquakes, fire, dust storm. You think that can't happen? It happened to us like in the last like 200 years. It'll happen again. Dust storm where there's no grain, so we can't make bread. Whatever the fuck happens, somebody has already been born who will die from catastrophic extinction level event, climate change, and all this. And you guys, like, you kept on spending with careless abandon without passing on to the next generations, and you stuck it in your bank. You bought your 5 cars and your 5 houses and your bullshit. And that's cool. It's your money. You can do as you like. You know, I'm not a hater. Go ahead. You are, but you obviously did, and there's something we can say about that. But you should have thought about it a little bit. You should have thought about the ramifications of that. If you spend with careless abandon on you yourself, and you and yours, and you don't worry about how bad the world gets, it doesn't make the world good for your kids. It's not too good. You know, you rob Peter to pay Paul. While you, and then when you enjoyed the profits of robbing Peter to pay Paul, you didn't pass on until you died. When you got the dragon sword, when you killed Smaug, you got the gold. You didn't share. And you're kind of like you're like Thorin. You didn't share. You shut them all out, and then you got to battle the 5 armies at your goddamn doorstep because you held it. You held the wealth. You didn't pass it on. And yes, I'll call it what I see it. It's not intentional either. It's like greedy, stupid, blind sabotage without any sort of intent of evil at all. That's the worst part about it, without any intent. That's what makes it so stupid. There's no intent there. It would be funny if you guys were like, nah, y'all are... It'd be funny, you kind of are like this. You kind of are like, you guys are kind of drunks and fuck-ups and druggies and whores and prostitutes. You got pasts that make the, Satan jump out of his seat and all this. And we're like, yeah, that's true. Generation Triple X, you know what I'm saying? That's who we are. But... the reason we were into all that stuff is because there was nothing left. It was the party at the Last Supper for me. And I'm like, seriously, it was. My whole life was like a party at the Last Supper. The hedonism was just goddamn crazy. It was, because at that point, that's the only thing you can afford is a party. It's the only thing you can afford. You can't afford a house or a car. The rent's too damn high. The cars are too expensive. The tank of gas is too much. The pay is too low. The chicken's a little curry. Eat the rich to feed the poor. Until there's no more poor, no more. Kind of stuff.
Fancy a chinwag? Always a pleasure. Hello there.
So I realize it's just random bitching, and I'm going to stop now. I'm just saying, I don't like the judgment. We didn't do that to you. We didn't judge you for enjoying yourselves. Why are you judging us trying to deal with a broken-ass fucking system? A broken-ass fucking chance. No jobs. No security. No safety. No cease on the violence. No stop of the war. It just goes on now. It's just crazy. It's right now we're not really war. That and everyone loves to hate on Sleepy Joe Biden or whatever the fuck. But I like Joe Biden because he ushered in the first era of peace that I've had in the last 20 years. It's been war, constant war for 20 fucking years. I'm fucking sick of it. And it has nothing to do with me either. That's the worst part. That war has nothing to do with me. That's I'll be the first one to say it. I didn't profit from it. I didn't start it. I didn't go there. I didn't fight in it. I don't care about it. I don't care what happened to the troops there. I don't care what the fuck. I don't care about the troops. That war was so fucking stupid that I pulled all of my support. I don't support that. I didn't support that war. I didn't support what they did to get into it. I didn't support how much money they spent. Who do I sound like? A jaded ass boomer bitching about the Vietnam War. So on top of the poverty and you guys not cutting the purse strings to pass on your legacy and stuff, so I can't even get a fucking beer or a fucking slice of pizza, much less a car. You know what I'm saying? You kept it. You kept it all, and you bought clothes. You bought jewelry. You bought cars and houses and stupid shit like some kind of Smaug fucking hoarding your gold in the mountain. Well, you should have been like, oh, well, here, every last dollar has been spent. Oh, no, paying for college? No, that was already paid for. You just go to college. We paid for that already. Like, that's what you do when you have money. You just pay for everything up front. You set aside. You go to the fucking, you go to the accountant and you say, here is $65,000 for blah, blah's education. Here is $65,000 for the 10 cars they'll need for their entire lives, and the other 1.7 million I made in the last 5 years, we're gonna pay taxes and and stick that in savings for when I die. you know? That's good. But see, that's not how most of the world lived. Most of the world was like, oh my God, I got a credit card. I can buy fancy clothes and a car and then go get a job and then take that job and work it for 5 or 10 years. And then I can build a house in the middle class, in the suburbs. And I can raise my 2.3 kids with my beautiful wife and my 5 cars and my 5 houses and my vacation house out there or my cabin out in the hills and stuff and all this crap. And I pay taxes and I deal with 2 hours of traffic every day. And I really like my smug Democratic or smug Republican bullshit. And I talk about presidents all the time when I haven't been represented my entire life and all this stupid ass shit. And, you know, they're like just sick of hearing them getting up to, you know. And I'm just like, oh man, must have been nice. Must have been nice. I scraped together $20 to buy a pizza most of my life. And yes, I did work. I worked harder than you. I worked a lot harder than you for not longer, but definitely as hard or harder in terms of physical labor and the amount of work actually done. I worked just as much or more than you, and by the end of it, I bet you I worked 3 times as much as you, because you guys retired after 20 years. I don't think retirement's even in our generation's history. Like, I don't think that's in the foreseeable future. Retirement is not in the, like, retirement is a jokey, it's like a jokey concept that your generation came up with, having to do with like Social Security and all that stuff. But retirement to us is a living fucking joke. It's a joke. It doesn't exist. That shit isn't gonna happen. We're gonna be working our whole fucking lives. Even if you have a wife, it'd be nice that way you only have to work halfway, you know, kind of stuff. But I mean, it doesn't matter. We're like, most of my generation is working their whole fucking lives, and retirement is this crazy fantasy for people who don't live paycheck to paycheck in the lower and the middle class, because you let the rich steal it all, because you think rich people are good. I remember all the Democrats in the country were like, Trump will be amazing. Let's vote for Trump. All the Democrats said that because they were like, oh, he's a businessman. We need a businessman running the presidency. You know what I said that day when I heard all that stupid media claptrap bullshit from my parents and everybody else? I said, yeah, that's a Republican. We all know what Republicans do. They do goddamn Vietnams. They do Reaganomics. They do COVID and 9/11 and all the shit that kills us. I don't know another word for it. All the shit that kills us. Quagmire and 9/11 and, you know, Afghanistan and all the deep state QAnon bullshit that they get up to and all that stuff. I'm just saying that's where the reality actually went, right? That's where it went. You know, that's where we landed on that one, unfortunately, you know? Oh, wait. What happened here? So, okay.